question is, what authority does the Attorney General have right now to act on behalf of victims of social injustice? And the truth is that authority does exist. In fact, the federal civil rights statutes explicitly confer authority to the Attorney Generals in the states to bring civil rights actions without the need for legislation. Let me just give you a few examples of what the Attorney General can do right now. Not by going and hanging out at the legislature, but right now by directing the lawyer's activities. The Attorney General has authority under the Connecticut Unfair Trade Practices Act to root out absentee slumlords in our urban areas. You know, I was in New Haven a month ago, not going around talking to prime Democratic voters, just talking to people on their porches. There was a woman there with 2 grandkids. They have elevated levels of lead in their blood, and they have mice in every room in the house because there's an absentee slumlord who she can't get on the phone. Now, the Attorney General can't take on every absentee slumlord, but those who are repeat offenders and systemically causing blight in urban neighborhoods, that's something that the Attorney General should take on. You want to talk about social justice? What about the right to reproductive choice? Making sure that women have equal access to contraception. And if the Supreme Court ends up overturning Roe v. Wade and you have an emboldened Republican Congress that's bent on restricting choice nationally, you're going to need an Attorney General who can go into court and block that on behalf of Connecticut women. Our Constitution protects the right to choose here in Connecticut. That's a social justice issue. 30 seconds left. Let me keep going. Housing discrimination. Housing discrimination is a social justice issue and a racial justice issue. We've seen under-enforcement in that area. And let me just talk about one other issue. William is right that the Attorney General has a responsibility to speak out on issues where he or she may not have legal jurisdiction but bear on fundamental fairness, racial justice, criminal justice, right? And as somebody who has seen the impacts of economic injustice, racial injustice, that's something that the Attorney General has unique power for because people view that office with the credibility it deserves, and that's how I would hope to use it. Thank you.